Hey, it's Kristen Eckstein, the Ultimate Book Coach, and I am here with one of my wonderful platinum authors, Rittenhouse, who wrote the book, The Essential Handbook to Buying a Home. Isn't it beautiful? And I want to talk to her a little bit about her book today and teach you about why you absolutely need this book if you're in the market to buy a home now or in the future. So, Karen, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for the interview.
First of all, why did you write this book?
A number of reasons. One being, I buy a lot of houses, and I sell a lot of houses, and I teach people how to buy and sell houses, and I get the same questions over and over and over. And I thought, how great for buyers if I could just put everything in one concise format that I could hand out to buyers, and they could use as a resource and a guide for buying a home.
Awesome. So it's like a one-stop shop to answer questions. And I remember when I was first talking to you, you mentioned that you wanted to write the book for people who came to you asking these questions.
Right.
And you wanted to be able to just say, well, here's all the answers.
Exactly. Because I have a lot of tenants as well, and we try to convert our tenants into homeowners. And rather than trying to go through each process with each new person, I thought, yes, perfect. If I had this and I could just hand them and say, start here, read this, and then come to me with any questions you still have.
Cool. So the book is not only for general people looking to buy a home, but also specifically tenants of apartments and rentals who want to either purchase that home from the one who owns it, like in such a case in my house is a rental, and we are doing a rent-to-own kind of situation.
Yes, here you go.
Thank you! Is it autographed? So what will people learn from this book?
Oh gosh, there's so much in here. I start at the beginning with people just saying, I think I want to own a house, and then the steps you need to go through to make that decision. I recommend that everybody start by making a wish list. If you can have anything in a house you want, just write with you, your spouse, your children, what does everybody need? Make a big list. And then we start editing it down to what do you really need. Because a lot of people, a lot of couples get into the process and realize the husband and wife or the couple aren't even looking for the same thing.
Yeah.
Or, for example, another thing is the husband works over here, the wife works over here. Who takes priority? Where do you live close to? Or maybe neither of those, maybe the school district is the priority and you have to live close to the good schools. So there's a lot of things to prepare before you even start. Then we go through the whole process, getting a loan, your credit, the closing costs, renovating, repairs, finding a realtor. It goes on and on, all the way to how to move, moving, preparing to move, and when you're in your home, a lot of tips on utilities, saving money once you live in your house.
Which is really important. If you have a video room, don't leave your video lights on all the time because they will drain that electricity and your bill will go up. So why should people listen to you?
I don't know anybody who has more buying and selling experience than I do personally. I buy and sell houses for a living. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm an investor. My company buys about 4 or 5 houses a month.
Wow.
I also own a real estate company. My realtors buy and sell. I own a property management company where we have a lot of residents, a lot of tenants. I also manage for other people. So I am involved in buying and selling for myself and for a lot of other people every single month. So I have a whole lot of information. I've answered a whole lot of questions. I do coaching and training. So I just think I have a whole lot to share.
And I think that since you wrote the book on it, you definitely have a whole lot to share. So what are some frequently asked questions that you get from buyers?
There's probably 2 that come to mind first that I get all the time. First of all, is this a good time to buy? Yes. Is the short answer. Absolutely. There's a lot on the market. Prices are great. And then the next thing is, can I get a loan? And again, yes, is the short answer. So we talk about what's involved in getting a loan, what do lenders look for, what do you need to do to prepare, what paperwork do you need to have ready for a lender, what's your credit score, how do you know, how do you find out, how do you fix it? So those are the 2 main things that I get. Should I buy now? Yes. Can I get a loan?
Absolutely.
Yes. But you need to be prepared.
Yeah. So what are some other things that they need to know that they might not be aware of?
Again, a couple of things come to mind. I think the costs beyond the purchase price. A lot of people don't know about the closing costs that are involved, the moving costs that are involved. And then the other thing is credit. Too many people just don't take credit seriously enough and realize how much you spend for everything in your life, more than you should because of your bad credit. So we talk a lot about credit, how to improve your credit, what credit affects. It affects your car insurance, it affects your credit cards, so much more than just getting a home. So I think they underestimate the importance of good credit.
Oh, absolutely. Well, all these things covered in your book?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of things in great detail, and a lot more things that we haven't mentioned. Sure.
Wow, that's awesome. And where can people go buy the book?
They can contact me through my website, Karen's Perspective, and also Amazon.com. It's also available on ebook, so lots of resources.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Everywhere.
And anywhere fine books are sold.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, you can order this through any brick and mortar bookstore. And in fact, Karen will hopefully be having some book signings at some bookstores sometime soon. And I'm just going to flip through this really quick and read off a couple of chapter titles. There's a couple of sections. There's section 1 is the decision. What do you need to do to actually decide if you're going to buy a home, to buy or to rent. Now, my husband and I right now are in a rental situation for a reason, and I'm glad we are, because we just found out that our shower is leaking, and we don't have to pay for that.
Right.
And so before we have decided to purchase a home, we always do a rent-to-own kind of scenario where there's an option to buy, because we have been in a lot of houses with serious problems. And that way we don't have to worry about it. But, your case may be different. You may have an inspector come and they don't find anything wrong with the house. So we actually built new when we lived in Ohio. And
that's quite a process.
That was quite the process, and we ended up being taken by the major housing scam and lost $30,000 on the house up there. So that's another reason why we're renting right now, is because we were really burned financially, and so we're not prepared yet. And being a small business owner, I've been full-time for 3 years, and my business, the net profits are not high enough to get a loan right now. So that's something else we have to look at, other ways of financing, which she covers in here. You don't have to get a loan. There's a lot of other ways that you can finance a house. And just like I tell people, you don't have to get a loan for your book. There's a lot of ways to finance it.
That's right. Yeah, there are 100% loans out there. The parameters are pretty narrow, but we discuss in the book as well how you can get 100% financing for a house.
Yeah, this has some great stuff. She's covering mortgages and what to do if you're turned down for a mortgage. A lot of times we don't think about that. We just go to the bank and they hand us the money. Well, they're not doing that all the time anymore. So, what do you do if they say no? What are your other options? Other buying options. Short sale. That's how we got rid of our house in Ohio.
Yeah.
So a short sale is definitely a way that people can get a deal on a house. Foreclosure. There's more that you have to think about with auctions and foreclosures. That's in here. REO, I didn't know what the heck REO was. And when I first saw this chapter, I said, why is there an acronym? I don't understand
this.
Right.
What does that mean?
But it turns out that it's real estate owned by the lender, and that's a great chapter in this book. Just look at these resources that she gives here. How to find an REO with all of these different websites that you can go to check out these different places. So a lot of resources, and one of my favorite things was the bonus section at the end for, actually more than just bonus section, the moving process and tips. I've moved over 35 times in 32 years. So it's definitely, I've got that down, but I still learned something. And I was looking at it going, oh man, I really should have done that this time. Hopefully we won't have to move.
That's right.
We love this house, so hopefully we won't have to move. And the bonus section is my favorite, 30 ways to save on utilities. 30 ways to save money. That is incredible, because there is a lot that goes into moving and buying a house, and you don't want to be spending all of your money on the house and then not have any furniture, not have any money to do fun things.
Being house poor.
Being house poor, exactly. Well, and then there's also at the very end, internet resource links for all different things, calculators, credit crime check. Have you ever thought about how much crime is in your neighborhood? That's something you might want to check out before you choose to buy.
Yeah, know your area.
Yeah, know your area. And wow, there's just so much information. So I encourage you, go to Amazon.com, go to your local bookstore, order the Essential Handbook for Buying a Home by Karen Rittenhouse. And any last words before we part?
In thinking again about why I bought it, I know that at closing, buying a house is a very big, overwhelming, expensive process to go through. You're dealing with lenders and attorneys and contracts, and a lot of times when people get all the way through all that to the closing table with that stack of documents in front of them, they feel like the only one in the room who doesn't know what's going on. They feel like the attorney knows and the real estate agent knows, but they're just signing documents, don't even know what they're signing. And so I put all this together so that you feel very empowered, you understand the process, you have a lot more peace and confidence in what's going on, and that you're getting a good deal. And it just demystifies the whole process and makes it easier. So I really hope you'll check it out.
Awesome. Once again, this is Kristen Eckstein, the Ultimate Book Coach. You can learn more about how to get your book published at artofpublishing.com. That is a free webinar that I put together all about your different publishing options. And thank you very much, Karen, for being here today.
Thank you.
And go check out Karen's website at karensperspective.com. That's karensperspective.com.
Thanks.
Thanks, and have a great day.
Thanks.